In the words of Gandhi, the earth provides enough to sustain every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Hello, my name is Caitlin Carlock, and I work as an environmental educator at Killens Pond State Park, where it's my job to research, inform, and educate the public about different sustainable practices, as well as the impact that we have on the world around us. Climate change is a real and active threat, not only to the environment, but also to our lives. In a 2018 intergovernmental panel on climate change, a report was released by 90 climate scientists from 40 different countries that stated that if we do not take a collective effort against climate change, by 2050, the effects of climate change will be imminent. The effects of climate change include droughts, wildfires, severe storms, coastal flooding, permafrost melting, etc. Limiting the amount of animal products and byproducts that we consume is the most impactful way that we can reduce climate change and slow it from happening. By number one, reducing the amount of greenhouse gas emissions that go out into the environment. Number two, by stopping deforestation. And number three, reducing the amount of pollution that is created as a result of the farming practices as well as the animals used in animal agriculture. First, the production of animals for consumption, animal agriculture, produces greenhouse gases such as methane and carbon dioxide into the environment that dramatically accelerate the rate of climate change. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, methane is 80% more powerful at heating the earth than carbon dioxide. Naturally, methane is produced in wetlands by microbial activity. However, the second highest producer of methane is humans through animal agriculture. Cows are the number one producer of methane, according to the University of California, Davis. And each year, about 220 pounds of methane is belched from cows every year. Now, the International Energy Agency explains that the concentration of methane in the environment now is 2.5 times higher than what it was pre-industrialization. Furthermore, 60% of global methane production is caused by humans, with animal agriculture being the number one source of production of methane. Second, animal agriculture uses so much farmland with only producing a little amount of food. In an article written in The Guardian by Damian Carrington, the environmental editor, he quotes research that 80% of farmland is used for livestock, and it only produces 18% of calories, of daily calories, and only 35% of protein. That is a staggering amount of land that is used for only a small amount of calories. The majority of our calories come from carbs, come from oats and different sources of fiber, and 37% of protein is also not a lot, especially with the new protein alternatives or plant-based proteins becoming more popular, such as Beyond Meat. It is incredibly sustainable to go to the grocery store and pick up plant-based meat, plant-based meat substitutes. Especially beans and legumes are great environmental substitutes, as they don't take a large amount of water to produce. It uses 83% of farmland and produces 60% of the greenhouse gases. Furthermore, the loss of wild areas due to deforestation because of expansion of farmland is causing the mass extinction of wildlife that is happening today. Finally, the animals used for livestock produce pollution that contaminates our limited amount of fresh water supply by contaminating the groundwater. And it's not only the animals, but also the farming practices, such as pesticides and different chemicals that they feed the animals so that they don't get sick. It's not good for us, the water that we drink. So, according to the Northeast Glacial Lakes Watershed Project, the improper management of livestock manure produces significant pollution into our groundwater supply. The two main sources of groundwater pollution are through animal agriculture are the excess nutrients and pathogen contamination, which pathogen contamination is viruses. In addition, according to the Center of Biological Diversity, nearly 90% of the world's birds, amphibians, and mammals will lose habitat to farm expansions by 2050. In conclusion, the number one way that we can reduce our environmental impact on climate change is by using using less animal products and byproducts. And this is because it will reduce the amount of greenhouse gases emitted into the atmosphere, specifically methane, which is 80 times more powerful at warming the earth than carbon dioxide. Number two, by reducing the amount of wildlife deforestation and by increasing the biodiversity instead of causing the massive wildlife extinction that is currently happening. And number three, by reducing the amount of pollution that is given off, not only into the environment, damaging local ecosystems, but also contaminating the water that we drink from. Now, at the end of this speech, I don't expect everyone to become a vegan. Just when you are about to eat or the next time you go to the grocery store, I would like you to think about the environmental impact that the production of your food has and choose the greener option. As Ernest Hemingway said, "The earth is a fine place and worth fighting for." We all share the earth, and we all can make a collective effort to keep it green. And I hope that everyone has a great rest of your day and stay safe.